This is Rick and welcome to our channel King Sacrifice. So today in this video I'm gonna present you two of the most greatest games ever played by Robert James Fischer in his chess career. So he is commonly known as Bobby Fischer, who was an American chess grandmaster and the 11th world chess champion. At the age of 13, as a chess prodigy, he won a game which was titled the game of the century. So let's look at his first game. So in this game he is against Lhamsuren Myagmarsuren, who is playing with the black pieces, and Bobby Fischer is playing with the white pieces. So he started with the move e4, black started with the move e6, d3, d5, knight to d2, knight to f6, g3, c5, bishop to g2, knight to c6, knight g to f3, bishop to e7, castles, e5, knight to d7, rook e1, b5, knight to f1, b4, h4, a5. So you see that black has gained so much space advantage on the queen side. So here white played the move bishop to f4, a4, a3. Black captures the pawn on a3, white recaptures it with the pawn on b3, knight to a5, knight to e3, bishop to a6, bishop to h3, d4. So knight on e3 went back on f1, knight to b6 with an idea of playing the move knight to d5, and after knight to g5, in the game the move knight to d5 was played, but if he would have played the move h6, then he would have get the move knight takes on f6. So if it takes with the rook, then bishop captures on e6. So if he captures with his king, then bishop captures the pawn on e6, king captures the bishop on e6, queen to g4, and here black can draw with king to d5, queen to f3, and with this threefold repetition move. But if here he plays the move king to f7, just trying to get back to his cave, then e6, king to g8, bishop captures on h6, threatening checkmate on g7, and after bishop to f6, then pawn to e7, double attacking the queen and the rook with the pawn, noticing that the bishop cannot take it because queen captures on g7 will be a checkmate. If the queen captures the pawn, then the rook will capture the queen. So this is because black here played knight to d5 in the game, after which bishop to d2. Black bishop here captured the knight on g5, after which bishop captured the bishop, queen to d7, queen to h5, rook f to c8, knight to d2, knight to c3, and here white played an amazing move, that is bishop to f6. So you notice that g takes f6 will not be a good move for black because e captures on f6, and now it will be a problem for black king. So he will have to move on the h8 square, king to h8, bishop to f5, threatening a mate on h7. So it is compulsory for black to take the bishop, and now rook to e7, queen to d8, rook captures on d7, again threatening a checkmate from the h7 square. So the queen comes to g8, and after rook to g7, it is forced for black to take the queen. Then white can just capture it back with the pawn. So but in the game the move queen to e8 was played, after which knight to e4, g6, and you notice here he cannot again take this because of this move, forking the king and the queen. So in the game the move g6 was played, after which queen to g5, knight captures on e4, rook captures on e4, c4, h5, c captures on d3, rook to h4, rook to a7, bishop to g2, and after d captures on c2, it was a mating combination for white. When he played the move queen to h6, black played the move queen to f8, and after white captured on the h7, black here resigned, because it is forced for black to take the queen, after which pawn captures on g6 giving a check, and after king captures the pawn, bishop to e4 would be a checkmate. Also noticing that if he returns back to g8, then rook to h8 will be a checkmate. So this was one of his games. So this is the second game where Robert Fischer is against Rueben Fine, who is playing with the black pieces. So Bob Fischer started with the move e4, Rueben Fine played the move e5 and continued with knight to f3, knight to c6, bishop to c4, bishop to c5, b4, bishop captures the pawn, c3, bishop to a5, d4, e captures on d4, castles, d captures on d3, c3, queen to b3, queen to e7, knight captures the pawn on c3, knight to f6, knight to d5, and after here black captures on d5 with his knight, he didn't got any chance to castle his king. Just see the game. E captures on d5, knight to e5, knight captures on e5, queen captures on e5, bishop to b2, queen to g5, h4, queen captures on h4, bishop captures on g7, rook to g8, rook to f1, check, rook f to e1 giving a check, king to d8, and after this standing move queen to g3, black resigned, because if he captures the queen, then bishop to f6 would be a checkmate. So the black queen needs to stay in this diagonal so that the bishop cannot come here and give a check, and also which will lead to a checkmate. So after white played the move queen to g3, it was already a mate in 7 combination. So here the forced moves are queen to e7, rook captures the queen, d6, bishop to b5, bishop to d7, bishop to f6, c6, queen captures the pawn on d6, rook captures on g2 giving a check, king captures on g2, king to c8, queen captures the bishop, king to b8, queen captures the pawn on b7, and a checkmate. So in this video we just saw two of his amazing games. In the first one he won against Myagmarsuren by giving a very amazing sacrificing move on h7 and leading to a checkmate, and in this game he just gave his pawns in order to get a lot of compensations. So by this we have came to an end of our video. If you like the two of the games or any one of them, then do not forget to hit like the video, and also do not forget to subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that you will get a notification whenever I'll upload a video. So thank you for watching, and see you on the next episode of King Sacrifice.